What's up, my friends? Welcome back to another episode of the Scottie Taylor Jr. podcast. I'm excited to have you here today. If you are watching this, then you probably noticed something a little bit different about me. And yes, I did dye my hair blonde. So if you're listening to this on my podcast, then hop over to my Instagram or my YouTube page and you can see what I look like. If you are watching this, then you can see we have gone platinum blonde. And no, this is not because Barbie inspired me. Coincidentally, I feel like I'm just living my best Ken life, but this is something I've actually wanted to do for a while, and here we are. So I figured new me, new fucking hairdo. And it's so relevant for today's episode because today's episode, I want to go into how to go all in on your business. And this is something that I think about a lot. And so, but we're just going to dig right in. So I'm going to share with you what going all in means to me. I'm going to share with you a little bit more about my next 6 and 12 month goals. And I think you're going to get a ton of value from this. So without further ado, let's get into the episode. And here we go. Okay, my friends, we are going to talk about going all in your personal life, in your professional life, in your business, in your health, in your relationships, whatever that means for you. So whatever going all in means for you, that's what we're going to talk about. So the thing that was coming up for me when I was creating the content for this episode is around the idea of, are you half-assing your business? Are you half-assing your life? And what I mean by that is you're playing small, so you're not picking goals that are exciting to you or that are really pushing you out of your comfort zone. If you say things like, I really want to start meeting new friends, but then you don't ever talk to people when you're out. Or if you're like, I really want to start dating, like let's say you're single and you really want to meet somebody, but then you're not actually going on dates or you're not on the apps or whatever it is that would appeal to you. Or you're thinking about for your business, I have this next level I really want to hit. I want to hit 100,000, 300,000, 500,000, a million, whatever that goal is. But then you're not taking steps towards that, or you find yourself getting distracted by other things. And so you're not able to stay focused on that next level for you. I want to share a couple ideas and a couple thoughts that ring true for me. And I hope my objective in sharing these ideas is to help maybe shake loose some of the belief systems that might be holding you back. So the question or the thing that I really want to stress, so this is going to be the heart of the conversation today. And this is something that I think is going to create a lot of clarity for a lot of people listening and watching this, because I know it certainly did for me. And the idea is that going all in does not mean that you have to do more. So often, I think that we think that when I hit this next level, or if I have a desire for more money, or if I have a desire for a better body, or if I have a desire for the next level in my business, more clients, whatever that looks like for you, then all of a sudden I have to do more. If I set a goal of, let's say I made $100,000 last year and I want to make $300,000 this next year, our brains sometimes go into this mode of, okay, what do I need to do in order to hit 300,000? And this is something that I see a lot that really, it makes me sad, but I know that there's ways of shifting this. That people don't set goals for that next level because they're afraid of how much work it's going to take to get there, or they're afraid of the perception of the work that it's going to take to get there. So like, why would I want $1 million a year if it's going to take all this fucking work and effort? But who fucking says it takes more effort or more doing? And this is the belief system that I want to shake loose for all of you today. This belief system that in order to have more, be more, you have to do more. Doing is not the catalyst for accomplishing more. Doing more is the unconscious programming that we've been raised with when we're in school. You have to study more to be successful, right? You have to work harder to get good grades. You have to work harder to get that promotion. You have to show up later to get that promotion, to get that bonus. That is fucking cockamamie in the entrepreneurial world, because when you run your own business, you get to decide what you want your business to look like. You are in full control of how your business can run. You get to decide that. So the old belief systems from like corporate America or growing up or your parents or society, those old belief systems are bye-bye, they're gone. We don't need to believe in those or adopt those anymore. And again, they're unconscious, so I'm bringing awareness to them if they are something that rings true for you. And I know that they rang true for me. So here's how I'm thinking about my life, my next 6 to 9 to 12 months in different buckets. So I did a whole planning session yesterday with my business partner and my best friend, Ashley. And she's like the queen of planning things out. So we sat down in a coffee shop for like 4 hours. I chugged my oat milk latte, which I have here now. So I'm gonna take a sip. And I put lavender in it. It's fucking so good. If you don't drink lavender in your oat milk lattes, like you're missing out. Lavender and bergamot, 2 flavors that would be super unexpected, but so tasty. Now the caffeine is kicking in, so I'm now off topic, but my point is that we sat down and we did goals for the next 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. And this process is so enjoyable for me because it helps me gain clarity and intentionality around what's next for me. So here's what I'm thinking about, and I'm going to share these ideas with you, and I'm going to share with you how these goals that I have or these things that I'm focused on are not going to require more work. It doesn't require me to do more. It requires more focus and more intentionality. And that is so fucking key. And that's something that I am still consistently working on, because when I set goals for myself and I think to myself, all right, I want to be doing 80K a month, 100K a month, I think to myself, ooh, what do I need to do to get there? And this is a process that's taken me years to continue to unlearn, and every step of the way. So when I started hitting 25K months or 50K months, those are all things that still cropped up for me where I'm like, well, I can go to 50K a month without working more, but I can't go to 100K without working more. I'm like, fuck that. Like, that's just not ultimately true, because going from 25 to 50K a month didn't require more work. So why would 50 to 100? But again, I digress. So I'm going to start with the fun stuff. Well, it's all fun, but I'm going to start with the fitness side of things, the fitness, and then personal, and then we're going to go into business. So if you love hearing people's goals, I'm going to give you everything. So I'm going to share with you exactly what I'm focused on, exactly what I'm working on. And it's kind of insane that I'm going to share all this level of detail, because this is like very private and personal stuff to me. I'm a very open person, but of course, I charge people multiple 5 figures to coach with me. So this is like a lot of stuff that I would share with my one-on-one coaching clients. So you're going to get all of it in this episode, which is kind of insane. So here's what I think about for going all in on my fitness. So you might laugh, I'm a Libra, hence the blonde hair, hence the changing things up, hence the aesthetically pleasing background if you're looking at this. And I'm a Libra, and one of the things that I was thinking about the other day is, what would it look like to go all in on my fitness, my health and my fitness? And for the last couple of years of my life, I've been kind of toying with this idea of like getting in really good shape. Now, I am in very good shape as it is. Like, I'm not like, in a place in my life where I'm like, oh, I really need to like lose some weight or anything like that. But I think about the next level for me, or going all in, and it's like having like a ripped body, big arms, big shoulders, strong legs. Like, I think about the aesthetic of it, the view of it, and what that would look like for me, and how that would impact people's perception of me. So it's interesting, because Ashley shared with me that people that are in really good shape are sometimes viewed as more successful financially, because people unconsciously will see somebody who's in really good shape and think to themselves, wow, if you take such great care of your body, you probably also take great care of your business and your work and your lifestyle, whatever it might be. And you just assume that they are more successful, and they may or may not be. So I'm thinking to myself, as I'm working to build my brand, build my community, connect with all of you, what would getting in really fucking good shape look like for me? And what would that mean for me? And then on top of that, obviously there's professional reasons for getting in good shape. And it's interesting because I think a lot of people would just be like, no, I want to do it for me or for my health. I'm like, fuck that. I'm going to tell you the truth. Like, I want to do it for more views. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it and be like, I don't think that getting in really good shape would get more people to come to my page. Like, I'm not an idiot. I'm like, I'm not going to sugarcoat and pretend like I'm only getting in shape for myself. No, there's absolutely a business component to it, right? Fucking Kim Kardashian is not working out for her own benefit just for her, right? I mean, she's probably doing more than just working out, but they have like nutritionists and like that's not just so that they can live a long, healthy life. It's probably a major component of it, but it's probably a bigger part because she is a brand and looking good is part of her brand. But I was watching the Kardashians yesterday, so that's why it's top of mind. So anyway, so my thought process is I really want to get in great shape. And so great all in for me is asking myself the question, like, what have I done in the past? What have I done over the past, couple of years? And what has worked and what has not worked? Or where do I find myself going in, but not all in? And so really the next step for me in my fitness journey is I'm about 185 pounds, which is an improvement from where I was post jaw surgery. So I was at about 170 pounds post jaw surgery. I was at about 190 before jaw surgery. So for me, the next level for me is about 200 pounds of muscle, of body mass. I've never weighed 200 pounds in my entire life unless I was wearing like a fucking full parka sweater and I jumped in a pool. I've never been 200 pounds. So if I can gain an additional 15 pounds of muscle, my body I think will respond very well to that. So I'm asking myself, okay, cool. What are the things that need to get done? Number one, I'm going to buy a sauna. So I've committed to myself, I'm going to buy an in-home sauna when Joe and Mai's house is finished being renovated post-flood. Should be pretty soon by now. So I'm going to buy an in-house sauna, attach it to the back of the house. I'm going to buy a cold plunge. Cold plunge is going to help me overcome my resistance, my fear, my nervousness. It's going to train my mind, and it's also extremely good for your body. I've decided I'm going to work out at least 3 times a week. So my body responds pretty well to working out. So I just need to work out a little bit more consistently because right now, if I don't feel like it, I just don't do it. And that is probably not going to cut it if I want to go all the fuck in. And then the biggest piece of this is hiring a professional. So a nutritionist, a personal trainer, somebody for my hormones to help me understand, like, what do I need to be eating on a daily basis? I'm notorious for waking up and I'll drink my green juice, but then I'll have a latte or a coffee and I won't eat anything until like 1 p.m. in the afternoon for like some intermittent fasting, but it's not really that. It's just I'm not really hungry typically in the morning. And I'm going to guess that I probably need to be eating more calories. But I'm not going to figure this shit out by myself. I'm going to hire somebody. So when it comes to my personal goal, next 6 to 12 months, I'll say 6 months is to hit 190 pounds. Right, so I'm about 185, so that's 5 pounds over the next 6 months. That's 1 pound per month. Very doable, I think. And then for the following 6 months after that, the goal is to hit 200 pounds. And who knows how quickly that will happen, but that's my goal. That is going all in on my fitness. Now, I'm gonna pivot to personal. So what does going all in on my personal life look like? And there's really only 2 things that I identified as goals for my next 6 months, next 6 to 12 months. And one of them is more personal and one's a little bit more financial, but again, both personal focused. The first one is I'm craving more friendships in the Miami area, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood area. Joe and I were traveling. We were in Italy for about 6 to 7 weeks over this summer. Before that, our house flooded in April of 2023 with flash floods up in the Hollywood, Fort Lauderdale area. So we had to move to Bradenton. So I was living in my family's house over in Bradenton with Joe for a while. And so I haven't really been in LA, oh my God. I haven't really been in Miami, the Miami area for like, I don't know, 5-6 months now. And because of that, I haven't been able to redevelop great friendships. And something that is really important to me is having great high quality friendships in my life. So high quality meaning people who are optimistic, they believe in spirituality, they're healthy, they're health conscious, they're environmentally conscious, like that type of people, right? I'm not just looking for going out and drinking friends, because we're fucking past that. I'm about to be 36 this year. We are moving on from those people in our lives. Love going out and having fun, don't get me wrong, but like that's not the primary motivator for building relationships at this point in my life. And so what I'm thinking about is, how can I start to meet people? So this is a very long-winded way of basically saying that I've committed to talking to one stranger a day. And it's interesting because when you watch me on these videos or you hear me, I know I sound very charismatic, and I think I am, but I'm actually very shy and actually quite introverted when it comes to meeting people in person. As I think a lot of us are, because there's just self-consciousness, right? I'm like insecure sometimes. I can feel self-conscious. I don't want to come across as weird, or like, you know, when somebody comes up to you on the street, they're like, hey, how are you? And you're like, what the fuck? Why are you talking to me? It's like, are you trying to fucking rob me? Like, you know, I don't know if that's just me or if other people feel that way, but like the unconscious nervousness that comes through is something that I would like to work on, that I'm excited to pivot and shift and move away from. And so my commitment is talk to one stranger a day. And it's funny because, again, I'm in a committed relationship, and I have a loving partner. So it's not about like meeting people to go on dates with, which it may have been at one point in time in my life. It's not about that. And so it almost feels easier now. So something that I think about is, well, I'm just making friends. And not only that, I'm not really even making friends. I'm just making conversation. I'm just challenging myself to step out of my comfort zone. So this is really the whole point of this goal, and going all in to me is I never want to look back in my life in regret. And I hear stories all the time of people who are like, man, I wish I'd put myself out there. I wish I had challenged myself. I wish I met more people. And I think that it's such a nice sentiment, but it's so hard in practice. Like if you're out at a bar or if you're out at a restaurant, to just walk up to somebody and just start talking to them, especially if you think they're attractive. Again, I'm not looking at it from that perspective, but for anybody listening, if you're like thinking about like asking somebody out, it can be very scary. But like one of the things that I'm just kind of tapping into is this idea. And a lot of this came from RRT, Rapid Resolution Therapy, and Andrea Crowder, who I adore, and I think she's phenomenal, is this idea of like, would it be good to have done? Not just would it be good to do, because going up to a stranger that I don't know and talking to them is not good to do. I'm not like sitting there thinking, that's a good thing to do. I'm excited to do that. No, I'm fucking nervous as hell. But would it be good to have done? Will I look back and think about it positively? I'm like, fuck yeah, I would. Like, that would be really fucking cool. And so today at my workout class, there were a couple people in my workout class. And when we were done, I went up, I gave them all a high five. I was like, great workout today. And I felt awkward as hell doing it. Cause like, what if they look at me and they're like, who the fuck is this guy with fucking blonde ass hair? And then in the locker room, one of the guys was like getting ready or getting changed. And I was like, hey, like, what'd you think of the class? How you feeling? He's like, oh, it was good. I went out this past weekend and I slacked off, and we just like chit chatted. And I was like, cool, like have a great day. And that was it. And I was so proud of myself. And it's like this natural boost. It's this natural like confidence. And I just know in my heart, I know in my knower that when I look back at this time in my life, I'm going to think to myself, damn, like I was so cool. I was good looking. Why the fuck did I not put myself out there more? Not that I need to be cool and good looking for that, but I just know that like I have the opportunity. I live in a great city. I have a great support system. I'm not looking to make a friend because I have nobody in my life. Like I love people and I have a great support system, but like it's just exciting to try something new and challenge myself. So going all in for me, and I shared this with Ashley, and she was like, oh, fuck yeah, I love that, is talking to one stranger a day. So 1 second, hold on. Woo! I need my oat milk latte with my lavender. So that's my one personal goal. And on the flip side, my other goal, personal, is to grow my non-qualified investment account, and that just means my midterm investment account, to $1 million. And this is something that I've had as a desire for a while, and now I'm really materializing it. So my objective, kind of what I'm focused on, is to save $30,000 a month into my investment account. And the way that breaks down is my intention is to begin hitting $80,000 a month of revenue. So I've gotten really close to 80,000. I think I've had like $65,000 months, but I've never hit 80,000. I don't think, at least. Maybe I need to check with my bookkeepers if I've actually hit 80K once, but I don't believe I have, and I certainly haven't done it consistently. So what I would like to do is start hitting 80K per month, and I'm going to talk more about that in my professional goals when I go through them. And with the 80K per month, 25,000 will go towards taxes. 25,000 will go towards spending, which will include my personal and professional spending for all the coaches that I have and all that stuff, as well as personal, like travel and dogs and Joe and whatnot and eating. And then 30,000 will go towards saving per month. And that's really, really exciting to me, because 30,000 a month is $360,000 a year. And so I would love to grow my investment account to $1 million in the next 2-ish years or so. I'm not starting from zero, so I already have a couple 100,000 in there, but getting it to $1 million is going to be like next fucking level for me. And that's like true wealth. So that's really where, from a personal perspective, I spent the last couple of years building up my revenue and learning how to earn money really efficiently, really effectively without working a ton. And I've reached that stride, and there's more work to be done. There's more progress there, but I've really hit that, and I feel good about where I'm at, and I'm excited for that next level. And so now it's about building wealth. So now it's not about like earning a bunch of money and just spending it. It's how can I get into alignment with saving a fuck ton of money and having a fuck ton of money in my investment account, my savings account, like just have a really healthy buffer, so that if there are investment opportunities, if I want to take a year off of work, I have that flexibility, I have that capacity. At the end of the day, we know this, but money creates freedom. Money can help create flexibility. Money doesn't create freedom. Let me rephrase that. Money can expand on the freedom that you choose to feel. And money can just be such a great conduit for having that flexibility. So those are my personal goals that I'm focused on, which are extremely exciting. So, okay, last but not least, let's talk about my business goals for the next 6 to 12 months. So I wrote them all down. So if I'm looking down, again, if you're on the podcast, you're not seeing me, but I'm going to look down at my goals so I don't miss anything as I go through. But really I'm recording this episode in end of July 2023. So my goals are by January 2024. So that's 6 months from now, by the end of January 2024. So my number one goal or focus or intention for the next 6 months is to have 16 advisors join my signature online program, the Financial Advisor Academy, on a monthly basis. And right now the program is priced between $5,000 to $6,000 depending on discounts or payment plans. So on the low end, if it's $5,000, that would be 16 advisors would join the program, and that would equate to $80,000 a month of revenue. That might not all be cash collected, but I'm really just focused on revenue at the moment, because the cash will come in. It just might come in over the next couple months. And so if I do 80K a month of revenue for like 3, 4, 5, 6 months in a row, then my actual revenue will be 80K because the payment plans will be coming in. So anyway, that's just kind of how I think about it. And so my intention is to stair step my goals every month. So rather than just saying, okay, the highest month I've had was 9 advisors. So I had 9 advisors join in June of 2023. And so my intention is for August to get 10 people into the program, September 12 people, October 14, November and December 16 each. And so that's my intention, to bring people into the program on a monthly basis. And it's funny because those are not like big numbers, right? Like 16 people a month is not a lot of people if you think about it, right? Like of all the thousands and thousands of financial advisors out there. But my focus is consistency. I'm not trying to just bring in 20 advisors in 1 month, burn myself out, whether I'm taking sales calls or talking to people in DMs or whatever it looks like. I'm not just trying to bring in a bunch of people, burn myself the fuck out, and then be exhausted and be like, well, I can't do this anymore. And then have like 2 months or 3 months of suboptimal success. So I'm like, no, we're going to create this in a sustainable way. We're going to stair step, of course, as I'm aligning to 10 people for August, 12 people for September. If I hit 12 people in August, fucking incredible, right? But the intention is to stair step in a really sustainable way. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to share with you the 6 steps that I'm taking to get to my goal of 80,000 of revenue per month. So I'm going to share these with you. If you are listening to this, you can pop into the show notes. I will put all of this in the show notes for you. This is also going to go out in the email that I send out when the podcast episode gets released. If you're watching this on YouTube, it's going to be in the description below. So wherever you are, just check the show notes. You can actually read through these. If you want to come back and re-review, sometimes that's a little bit easier than listening to it. But alas, I'm going to go through it verbally, and then feel free to read deeper if you want to go back over it. So step number 1 to get to this 80K is I'm going to hire a coach. I'm going to hire either a coach, I'm going to do a VIP day, or sign up for a mastermind. So, I mean, it's funny because I coach advisors on how to grow their business through becoming a master at prospecting. And the same way that I took all of my knowledge and skills and experience and created a program to help advisors cut the time that it would take them to figure this shit out on their own, the same thing goes for me. I'm constantly investing in coaches, mentors, so I can learn the shortcut to get to where I want to be rather than trying to figure this shit out myself. So I've committed to hiring, whether it's a coach, doing a VIP day. So some of the people that I know charge $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 for a full day where you come and just spend the whole day with them and accomplish everything you need to for like $15,000 or $20,000, or join a mastermind. And again, I'm open to all of them, and I'm interviewing a coach later today, so we'll see how that goes. Step number 2 is to perfect my lead generation system, my funnels, my email sequences, my LinkedIn, my cold email, and my social media content creation. So one of the things that has become really relevant for me more recently is shifting the energy away from I'm reaching out to people to potentially work with me, to bringing people into my world, magnetizing them into my world. I'm going to share a little bit more about this in a separate podcast episode, but the energy of constantly reaching out to other people is effective because sometimes people need kind of like a little kick in the butt to get moving, but the energy over time becomes a little sticky because it's always about me acting and getting people to come into my world, which then creates the dynamic of I kind of need to convince them to a small degree. And that's not the energy that I want to maintain. I want to have people in my world that are excited to be here, that find me, that love my content, that are enjoying these podcast episodes, and are magnetized to me. So what this looks like is finishing, and I already have a lot of these parts already compiled, but completely finishing my lead generation system. So that looks like, what freebies am I providing to get people into my world and onto my email list? What type of email sequencing am I using to nurture the people once they get on my email list? What type of ads am I running, and where are those ads directing people to? Are they directing them to a free PDF, a free webinar? Are they directing them just to build awareness? Are they directing them to sell a program or to sell something? What does that look like? And then in addition to an inbound lead approach, so whether that's with social media, like creating content like this, posting it on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Threads, whatever the platform is, that's how you get people into your world through an organic reach. How do I also have some, I guess not inorganic, I don't know if that's the right word, but how do I have some outbound reach where I'm actually messaging people? So through LinkedIn automation or cold emails, or I'm reaching out to people, specifically financial advisors, to invite them into a call with me to see if they could be a good fit for my program. So I believe in doing both. Who knows, at some point in time in the future, I might just pivot to just an inbound organic reach perspective, but I'm not quite there yet in my business. So that's step number 2, is to perfect my lead generation system. Cool? All right, we're gonna go into number 3 after I take a sip of coffee. So step number 3 is to have these systems lead advisors to whether I do live webinars, recorded webinars, or I have an application page where advisors can come in and fill out their information and they can explore if working with me makes sense. And ultimately everything, it's like a big funnel, right? Everything is leading into the Financial Advisor Academy. And through that process, I should be qualifying people out or in. So if you're the right fit, I want to make sure that you're being nurtured and led through the funnel. If you're not the right fit, then I want you to gently and lovingly exit the funnel so that I'm only getting the right candidates in my funnel, so that when we get to the point of selling the program and inviting people to join, they're the right fit. And so whether they say yes or no, cool, right? But at least I'm talking to the right person. As part of step 3, I want to also transition to selling in DMs. So whether that's on Instagram or TikTok, but start selling through DM conversations versus only on sales calls. I love doing sales calls and I'm really good at doing sales calls, but again, they require a lot of my energy to show up. And I'm happy to answer questions for people, but I'm not, when I was in Italy, I was taking like 10, 12 sales calls a week and it was just exhausting me, and I'm ready to pivot away from that. So that's step number 3. Step number 4 is based on the Facebook ads, the content creation, and the emails. The goal is to get 16 advisors to sign up in 1 month. So to hit my first $80,000 revenue month for my program revenue alone, right? So my financial planning business, I make money. My real estate properties, I make money. My one-on-one coaching, I make money. But I'm talking about making $80,000 just from my online course, the Financial Advisor Academy. So that's the step number 4, is to have my first $80,000 month. Step number 5, once I hit 16 advisors joining the program in 1 month, I would like to do that consistently for 3 months. So doing that for 3 months creates consistency in revenue, so I can see that revenue coming in every single month. It works through any kinks that may come up in the process. So if there's like a breakdown in one of my ads, or if there's a breakdown in my social media or my sales process, making sure that I've perfected that system and the whole flow is like really solid and good to go. That's important to me. And then build up my raving fan base and also build up more testimonials. So selling through social proof is by far the most effective way to sell anything, whether it's through my own results, right? Because I've implemented these systems in my business as an advisor, as well as in my coaching business right now. But also with other people, other advisors. I want other people to be able to look at testimonials and say, holy shit, that person looks like me, they sound like me, they are like me, and they had amazing results. I can get there too. So testimonials are all about showing the other advisors what's possible for them. So I'm going to continue to build up my fan base as well as build up my testimonials. And then number 6, this is the last step in my journey to $80,000 months, is once I have my audience built, so once my audience has continued to grow, once my revenue is consistent, the next step here is going to be to expand into other ways of generating or capturing revenue. And that could be through additional programs. This could be through masterminds. This could be through holding VIP days. I do have a couple one-on-one coaching clients, but I really cut back a lot recently. So I could focus on this next phase of life. Once all of that is situated, right, the people are coming in, I'm going to start to open my calendar back up to taking on a couple more one-on-one coaching clients, running VIP days, masterminds, things like that, so that I have additional ways of bringing in revenue other than just one program. Although I do think that my Financial Advisor Academy will be my primary source of revenue, or at least that's the intention or hope or a desire into the future. But I'll have additional streams of revenue through other ways, because that just sounds like fucking fun. Like, I just enjoy creating stuff. And so there might be like a mini masterclass or a mini audio program that I create that I then sell to my existing audience. And the cool thing is, once I've built up the trust through providing really great content, getting people results in my programs, then that next step is going to be a no-brainer, right? You look at some of the people that are doing, multiple $100,000 months or multiple $1 million months in the online course space, and it's pretty clear that they do that because they have the know, like, and trust factor of their audience. And so I'm looking to create something similar to that. I already have it to a large degree, but I'm looking to expand on it even more. So that is the full breakdown of my next 6 months, both personally, fitness-wise, and professionally. And I really hope this is helpful. And so at the end of the day, my hope with this podcast episode, it kind of was like a two-pronged approach. Number one, are you going all the fuck in on your business, your personal, your professional life? And more than that, what I really wanted to stress in this episode was that going all in doesn't mean you need to do a whole bunch of fucking work. It doesn't mean you need to just work harder, take on more shit. Going all in is an energetic decision. It's an intention. It's not a action. Going all in doesn't mean that you just like sit down and you're like fucking furiously typing at your computer, creating content or messaging people or going on Facebook or whatever. It means having the intention behind, this is my all in. This is what it looks like for me to really put all my energy into something. And then you create the steps, the systems, the processes to support that. So if you're a financial advisor, for example, and you're like, I want to go all the fuck into my business, my opinion is that you need to create a prospecting system. So that doesn't mean that you need to go out there and create the system. You need to implement a system that has already been created, that's bulletproof, that's proven, that's successful, and that's what I teach. That's what I sell. I sell that system, and I sell you the exact step-by-step process to implement that system. So you're not recreating the wheel. You're not figuring it out yourself. And so if you're a financial advisor and you're like, I'm ready to go all the fuck in, that could be the next logical step for you, right? If you are not a financial advisor, if you're in some other profession, you get to decide what going all in for you looks like. But the key here is that it doesn't mean that you need to try to like boil the ocean. You don't need to do a whole bunch of shit. You just need to decide, what does going all in look like for me? And then what are those steps to get there? Okay, my friends, thank you so much for joining me. I love you. I support you. I'm always here for you. Shoot me a DM on Instagram at Scottie Taylor Jr. if you want to chit chat. And also follow my new Instagram account for financial advisors specifically. So if you are an advisor, I would highly recommend that you follow this account at the Financial Advisor Academy. And that's also in the show notes and in the YouTube description. And the reason for you to follow that is because I post content specifically for financial advisors on that Instagram page that is extremely valuable shit that I'm not going to post on my personal page. So if you want all of that great content, you only need to hop over and follow that Instagram account. I love you. Mwah! Have a wonderful, magical rest of your day, my friends. I'll talk to you soon.